What's up, guys? It's finally time to get back on the Wrong Turn franchise. We're going to finally close it out. Wrong Turn 2. I've been promising this one forever. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go. Wrong Turn 2 stars Erica Learson, Henry Rollins, Texas Battle, Alexa Palladino, and is directed by Joe Lynch. What's up, guys? Welcome to the final review for Wrong Turn. I know I've been taking way too long on this one. And Wrong Turn 2 is definitely one that I hear high praise for constantly. Some people even saying that it's their favorite of the franchise. Is it my favorite of the franchise? Not so fast. I'll let you know later in the review. Maybe at the end of the review. I'm not sure. But first off, let's give you a quick plot synopsis. This revolves around a reality TV show. Back in 2007, which is when this movie was released, Survivor was really popular. And Survivor had been popular, I think, since like around 2000. Survivor was huge. I used to watch Survivor with my family every season. And I would go out of my way to avoid the any like coverage during the final episode, because I didn't want to know who won, until I actually watched it. So I remember how big Survivor was. But I think it's a cool idea to base this one around a reality TV show. And it's interesting because it's the second movie in the franchise. Usually when you go to the sequel, there'll be ties to the original movie. The stakes might be higher. The body count might be higher, which it is in this movie. But we're talking about a reality TV show. We're talking about like Halloween Resurrection, which is a similar premise. Usually this stuff is reserved for later in the franchise, maybe part 4, 5, and on. And by this time, we'd probably go to space, in the next sequel. But it's kind of cool that they had an idea here. Okay, this is the Wrong Turn franchise. We're not going to invest too much stock into the actual main characters. This is more about the mountain men and women. And let's just see them kill people one by one. But the reality show is called The Apocalypse. It's kind of like Survivor, a bunch of contestants from different walks of life, which is cool as far as like a horror movie, because you want a variety of characters, and boy, does this one have them. And they're separated, and they're going out into the wilderness and trying to survive. But little do they know, they're actually trying to survive the mountain men, the cannibals. Even the filmmakers don't know that they're dealing with this. It's a big surprise. Movie opens with a really awesome kill, and I'll even say this is probably the best kill to me of the movie, and that's not to knock the rest of the kills in the movie. It's plenty bloody. It fits firmly into the Wrong Turn franchise. But man, they just start off with such a great one. Kimberly Caldwell, who plays herself.
It's a reality show pilot.
Hey, you sang your way to the top 7 the last time you were on TV. Now you're the star. You're Kimberly fucking Caldwell.
Opens the movie. She's driving to be a contestant on the show, and she is intercepted by one of the mountain men. She hits him. She feels horrible. So when she goes to check on him, he bites her freaking lips off and then splits her down the middle. And then 2 mountain men, they drag both halves of her down the road, and it was quite awesome. Little audio cameo there by Patton Oswalt too, which is cool. I swear that's Patton Oswalt. That's his voice. It's got to be. I didn't even look it up on IMDb. Now, I was talking about a variety of characters, and boy, does this have quite the variety. And one thing that's cool about this movie is when you first meet all of them, you have no idea who's going to make it out of this, or if anybody's going to make it out of this. They don't really prop any one person or 2 people up to be kind of the showrunners of the movie. And I was just talking about this with some previous reviews that I was doing too. I like when horror movies, even slasher movies, do this. They don't prop up any one person, but they still have some strong characters in the movie. So it's pretty much anybody's game. And I'll talk about the characters along the way, but the one that I would have guessed would have been the final girl was Mara. She's a producer on this. She's pretty wet behind the ears, and her boyfriend is the director, Michael. They call him M. And she just has all those characteristics of like a final girl that you want to survive this. And I'll even say this right now, and by the way, this is a spoiler review. I kind of wanted her to be the final girl just because I already liked her up to a point in the movie. Her boyfriend, the director, is a dickbag, and eventually in the movie she catches him cheating on her with, I guess, the model bombshell hot girl. Elena, played by Crystal Lowe, who was also in Final Destination 3. She was also in Black Christmas 2006, which is awesome. I recognized her immediately. And I was not surprised by where her character went in this movie. She just fits that type of character in all the horror movies that she does, and she does it very well. But Mara is teamed up with Nina, played by Erica Learson, who was in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. And I didn't recognize her because she had the blonde hair in this one. In that one, she has the red hair. But spoiler alert, she ends up being the final girl of the movie. Her and this character Jake, played by Texas Battle. What a name, Texas Battle. That's awesome. The black guy survives, which is cool too. You know, it's like a bonus. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. There's so many more characters I could talk about in this movie. It's almost too many characters. It's like character overload. And don't worry, we will get to Henry Rollins. I think one smart thing they did was they grouped characters together, and I think that just psychologically made the viewer recognize them easier. You got Amber, who's the war vet. She was in Iraq, and then she's teamed up with this misogynist asshole by the name of Jonesy. Their kill's awesome too, by the way. They make it pretty far in the movie, but then they both get strung up upside down by one foot. They get shish kebabbed. An arrow goes through both their heads. Now let's talk about Henry Rollins. Probably one of the most awesome things of this movie. Probably the reason why people love this movie so much. I'm a casual Henry Rollins fan, okay? I think he's awesome. Loved his song on the Crow soundtrack, which is really cool. Ghost Rider. He pretty much fills the Rambo role in this movie. And if you got to compare him to Rambo, he doesn't really compare that well. But I think he does okay in the movie. There is a moment where you could swear, okay, he's going to be dead in like the first quarter of the movie, first third of the movie. But no, he's a resourceful guy. He's an ex-Marine. He's the host of the show. And he takes it upon himself to save whoever he can. He gets captured, but he cuts himself loose. And so for a good portion of the movie, he's just kind of in the background, surveying things and trying to figure out how he can get out of this mess. And he was a really good character. And you can't help but love the guy. You know, at the end of the movie, he saves Jake and Nina. I like that scene where Nina, she's got the barbed wire on her wrist. They have her to the table, very much like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're having a cannibal dinner. This is like where they're going for a little bit of symbolism because her character has some scars on her wrists. You know, they kind of just scratch the surface with all that stuff, though. They don't go too deep in this movie, but it's a nice touch where, you know, she's actually bound by barbed wire and she has to pull her wrist out of the barbed wire. I think Nina has the best arc in this movie as well. She starts off as a character that I'm not sure I liked that much, just because she starts out the movie with a huge chip on her shoulder. I think they're playing around with the whole vegan thing. She's a vegan. And, you know, I guess the stereotype about vegans is they can't help but remind you that they're a vegan every time they meet with you. And so I guess there's a little bit of a joke on that. But I think that was a smart thing to do because you could swear, oh, she's going to get killed really quick because she's just so arrogant. But then eventually, I think her real self comes out, that wall comes down, and you can get a little bit psychological with the character. And eventually you end up rooting for her. And that's just, I think that's really good writing. And she has a stage background in acting, and you can see that I think her acting skills might have been up just a notch from most of the cast. So I think there's a reason why they picked her to be the final girl. You know, very strong actress, especially in the final act. Now let's talk about the mountain men. We got to talk about those crazy cannibals. They're always fun in the Wrong Turn movies. The kills are always great. They're stronger than like normal human beings. There is mountain men sex in this movie. A couple of the characters, they stumble upon this couple, mountain men couple, and they're having sex, and one of them has the scalp of the victim, Elena, who they had just killed, which, by the way, she's just filleted by the female, the wife of the mountain men, who caught her husband, how should I put this? I guess having fun with himself while he was watching Elena. But then, strangely enough, after she fillets Elena, then she starts making out with her husband right there. These are cannibals, okay? Nothing's gonna surprise you. Then there is one character, she's pregnant. We have a mountain baby in this movie. Yes, that does happen. And when it comes out, it's kind of hilarious, which ties into the very end of the movie where they show, you never know what you know, they're gonna do, how these kids are raised. And let's just say he doesn't suck his thumb, he sucks the bone of the thumb. That's disgusting. Three Finger is only in this movie for just a little bit, and he gets killed, I think, you know, early in the movie by Henry Rollins. There's a big battle between him and Henry Rollins' character. And I couldn't help but think, like, what? Wait. Three Finger's in like every one of the movies. But it's the Wrong Turn franchise. There's really no continuity for these movies. I even hear like the middle movies are supposed to be like prequels, but they never go out of their way to like set that up. So you just go into these movies just to have fun, right? So in the end, Wrong Turn 2, it's definitely one of the better sequels. I'm gonna say right now, I still think I prefer 4 as like my favorite Wrong Turn movie. And now I can finally do a ranking for this franchise, which I definitely will do. But I'm so glad I finally got to see Wrong Turn 2. It's easily in the top 3, I think, maybe 5. I think top 3 actually. So yeah, it's really good. And Joe Lynch did a very commendable job for his first movie. I mean, if this was my first movie, I would be hella proud, okay? I mean, you made one of the best Wrong Turn movies, so you can't complain too much about that, right?
Did I forget to give a rating? I think I did forget to give a rating. I'm going to give this a purchase worthy for sure. Definitely one of the better Wrong Turn movies.
So let me know your thoughts on Wrong Turn 2 in the comments. Looking forward to hearing them. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays, we do Free For All Fridays. Follow me Drumdums on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Become a channel member. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Drumdum out.